¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? Es mi teacup. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Two Scribbles One Poll. I am your host Kia, and I am sitting in my living room by myself, getting ready for the day. Y'all, yesterday was so irritating because men, all men. Y'all want to sit here? If you actually know me, people like to joke and call me the president of the Niggas Ain't Shit Association, but y'all really ain't shit. Now, let me preface this and say, because people are like, oh, it takes one to know one. Yes, it does. I'm not shit. I'm not about to sit here and act like I'm some perfect human being because I'm not. Nobody's perfect. I've said that before. But my thing is those of you who know me know that I try my best to do right by people. Just take men out of it. I am building relationships is very important to me. People, I think you choose your family. I have so many friends in my life that I just love and I would do anything for as long as it's within my capacity. So I think that respect is something that is not given. It is something, or it's not something that's automatically given. Like, you have to treat people with respect in order to receive respect, right? And so I'm not out here thinking anybody should just treat me a certain way, but I know that I come to you first a certain way. So my expectation is that if I'm treating you this way, then I should be treated in a similar manner. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say that, yesterday, I was real upset because I don't know, and I've been having this conversation with my friends for a while. I know I don't carry myself a certain kind of way, but it seems like ever since, even before, but ever since I've made this leap into the public eye and I have announced that I'm going into sex work, niggas just really lost all their marbles, and y'all think y'all could talk to me however, whenever y'all want to. And I'm just like, when did that ever become okay? I talk shit about men because y'all really have the audacity. Y'all have all of the audacity. For what? Y'all don't even be doing shit. Y'all just think that because I have a vagina and a dick is supposed to fit in a vagina, that I'm just supposed to submit to you and think that you talking to me any kind of way is sexy. And it's like, oh my God, he's talking to me. No, absolutely not. Cause you still gotta get in the pussy, but y'all be fucking it up. Y'all think y'all so smooth. It's ridiculous. So I just needed to say that. And I just noticed, especially, and I'm already said this, y'all. I'm talking to myself, and I was just so frustrated that I just felt compelled to come on here and say something. But I'm just so frustrated I can't even talk, y'all. Good morning. Happy Saturday. I'm getting ready for work. I love tea. Tea is really good. I'm drinking. I really like yogi tea because it comes with little quotes. I'm like a fucking whore for quotes. I love quotes. So today's quote says, "Without the storms and rain, life would cease to be." And that is so fucking true. You have to go through shit. The storm will come, but the sun always comes out. It might storm for a day, it might storm for 2 days, it might storm for a fucking week, but the sun is bound to come out. And I've talked a little bit about this in some of the other episodes, and it'll come back up because last year in September, I was in 2 car accidents that were nearly fatal. I'm telling y'all, that first one, I was in a car and I saw the light. I just knew that it was over. The car, and I'm sorry if this is a trigger warning for anybody who has who's been in a car accident or has lost somebody to a car accident. I really hope that you can find peace and heal from it. But the car, it basically played ping pong with the guardrails, and me and my friend who were in the car were just bing, 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 bing. And with every hit, you could not tell me, oh, the car wasn't about to flip over. Oh, the car about to catch on fire. Oh, the car about to cave in. Oh, the windshield's about to break. I really thought of every scenario. I thought I was going to look over. My friend was going to be gone. It was a lot. And in all of that, the light just kept getting brighter. And I was like, oh, it's a wrap. And then the car stopped. And my friend, obviously, it was her car. So she's like freaking out and losing it and just upset. And like we had already been going through the shit. And then that happened. But oddly enough, like I was just calm. And I was like, I literally thought we were about to die. And we didn't. There's like, though we faced the worst and it didn't happen. And then almost 2 weeks later, I was in my car coming home to change to run errands from an interview, and my car hydroplaned onto the highway in a very similar manner to the first accident, like in the middle of the day. So there's traffic. So I'm just like, I thought that I was about to get T-boned and just fly into the abyss. Like I was fighting for my life in that car, I promise you. And then the car stopped. And so to literally face death twice in such a short amount of time. And I was already last year, I was in like a pretty heavy breakup. Like I experienced homelessness. Like it was just a lot. Last year was a lot for me, but I'm here now. Am I in a great spot? Absolutely not. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But I say all that to say that, like, literally, I could not see any positives. I was in such a dark space this time last year. And to see how much of a 180 my life has made has been crazy. And so I've always been kind of like a optimistic person, but especially more so in the last year. Um, and so yeah, like I say all that to say that I try to always see the fun in things. I've always tried to be like a light and be positive and just, we're not here for a long time. I've always known that, but really this past year I've seen that like we're really not here for a long time. So love people, be nice to people, be kind to people. Like, and even me saying all that, there's so many people who's close to me who don't know any of that, or who we were having conversations but didn't know the extent of the how down bad I was. And thinking about how like we literally all go through shit, and for people to just like talk to people or treat people any kind of way is crazy to me, because we all go through shit, we all have our storms. So why people are so worried about other people, why people feel the need to bring other people down, why people feel the need to judge people for whatever it is they're going through, like to kind of circle back to this whole sex work thing, like men in particular have always been kind of disrespectful, because unfortunately that's just kind of the male species. Sorry, not sorry. Like y'all really have the audacity. And obviously those of you who aren't like that, no, I'm not talking to you. So I appreciate you for being respectful to women and people. It's not even just about women. It's just like, be respectful to people. Treat people how you expect people to approach you. Why you think it's okay to just like, yeah, let me see your pussy? No. And yes, just because I have an OnlyFans and you might be like, you gotta pay to see this. And if you're not paying, it's because I'm choosing to give it to you. And it's like, I don't know, y'all just feel so entitled to shit that's not yours. And it really just baffles me. Or even if you think because you had it before that you can come back and just like circle back and talk to me any kind of way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just, mm-mm. Um, and so before I move on to like something else, because y'all could say Kia hate men. I just hate that y'all have the audacity. I actually love men, like especially my male friends know how much like I love them, and I'm always rooting, especially for the black men. Like I love me some black men, but y'all be dragging. Anyway, this piece right here, this is, I'm an artist, y'all. I'm an artist, if y'all ain't figured that out by now. But this piece right here is called Diary of an Angry Black Woman. And I wanted to show y'all because it has been hanging in the background, but it's about to be, I got accepted into an art show. I'm so excited. I applied. This piece and another piece that I just wrapped up called Violet Skies is, it's like a cute little piece. Maybe this is on YouTube, y'all. So I'm going to do like a little insert so y'all can see it on YouTube. But or you can follow my art page, KP _mosaics. Yes, I have 7 Instagrams, y'all. So just like, don't mind me. But anyway, back to this piece right here. Diary of an Angry Black Woman, in parentheses, is trust issues, right? So this piece is a piece that I've thought about. I sat on this for years, like literal years. The idea first came to me back in like 2017. And what I wanted to do was, there were 7 men that I had had some type of, I would say, life altering experience or interaction with, or just like it was somebody that I kind of held high, and then shit kind of turned left, or I learned something. I think everything happens for a reason, and there's a lesson in everything. So like, when I first came up with it, it was like 7 men that was just like, y'all really played with me, and I didn't deserve that. And so it was kind of the idea that I wanted to do an open letter to them. And I'm really big on text. I love text and art. And so that's what I've really been trying to do for the past year. But I specialize in mosaics, which are tiles. So you can like kind of see in this video those pieces. So at the time, I was kind of still new to my own independent art. I learned mosaics from another artist, Valerie Taburge. Go check her out. She's great. So I worked alongside her, and that's where I got my mosaics from, or my mosaic skill from. And I really wanted to do that text piece, but I wasn't sure how to do it. So that's kind of the reason why I sat on it. And then for years and years, I kind of like kept thinking about it, but wasn't sure. So then finally in 2023, in 2021, I had started with like the tiger stripes, or like the gash marks, because it's supposed to, the idea is that it's brown because I'm a Black woman, that's my skin, and then this is like the scratches, and I'm healing from the trauma, right? um and so when I finally got to the execution piece, this idea came to me. And by this point, I had did like the mirror, and this is like glass tile to represent, like, you know, when you get scratched and it heals over. That's what that's for. Um, and then I knew that I wanted to include the text, but I still wasn't sure. So I also worked with a mixed media artist for a couple of years now. I've known him for a while, Alonzo Davis. He works with like bamboo and caustic, which is wax for anybody who's not familiar with art terms, and oil pastels and all that stuff. So I've really been practicing and playing around with different materials. Um, and so the idea came to me to just kind of, when I was thinking of this, I wanted it to be as authentic as possible. And so I didn't want to go back and find old journal entries where I was like kind of brain dumping and talking. I wanted it to be in the moment. So the original 7 that were being addressed had been cut down to 4. And I think it was like 4 major people, men in my life, that really shaped my interactions or how I view things. Only one person knows who they are, and was kind of like anticipating this. But the other one is my father. 3 are exes. No, okay, so it's 5 people. It's 5 people. 3 are exes. One is my father, and then one is a friend, that we've had a complicated relationship, but that is my friend. And if you pick up on this friend, you know I love you, and we've had our ups and downs, but like, you're my dog. Anyway, and that's another thing. Like, I can be friends with exes. I can be friends with people. Like, y'all just, my thing is, you need to acknowledge that you weren't shit, and then fix it. Don't just acknowledge it because you know that's what I want to hear. Like, I want you to realize that you ain't shit, and you fix it and you work on it. And I'll just observe from a distance and realize, is that true? Like, because people always ask me, like, how are you friends with exes? How are you friends with people that you do that? How are you able to detach? And it's like, my thing is, I'm a people person first. And I always approach people with respect. I'll address whatever it is that I feel was like disrespectful. And then moving forward, like I choose whether or not I want to keep fucking with you in a certain way. So I might have liked you for this particular reason. And I know that we get along on this aspect and we can rebuild our relationship. But now you're on my terms because you disrespected me. And I'm not going to allow you to keep coming in my space and disrespecting me. And so you're just like, you can come back in, but you're on a leash and you're over there, not right here where you used to be. You in the club? Can't even get in the club? Something like that. I don't know the exact words. Anyway, back to this piece. So I don't think you can see it in the camera, but if you look like closely, if you ever, this is going to be hanging in Bowie City Hall until September. So go check it out. This is my other piece. But I'm writing open letters to those people and just kind of releasing my frustrations because it's like I have put up with a lot of shit with men over the years. I have yet to have anybody really show me. And there was one person who was like, I was very vulnerable with because I reached a point where I was so tired and I was like, look, I get that I'm running around to my niggas ain't shit and it's funny, but like y'all need to understand that it's not just like, I'm not just saying that to say that. For a very long time, I used to say, y'all don't got no common sense. And this ain't supposed to be a man-hating episode. I'm gonna tell a story, but like yesterday was just so frustrating for me that I just felt like I needed to say this. Treat women, treat people with respect, please. Like just treat people with respect. That's it. That's all. That's the tweet of the day. But I have friends, male friends, who tell me the shit that they be getting into. I have seen my friends be dogged and degraded by men. I have personally, like, I really be minding my business. Y'all be minding my business. I promise y'all be minding my business. And niggas just be like, nah, fuck here. Like, really, I could tell stories for days of the wildest shit that has happened to me, and I've not prompted you. I'm not. Now, once you do some shit, then I'm like, okay, the inner child in me is still working on healing. I'm not a tit for tat ass bitch anymore, but I used to be. Because if you want to play me, we could play, and you're gonna lose. Okay. Anyway, but I've had like people, I tell them like, I say niggas ain't shit all the time. Part of me is joking, but part of me is serious because I have witnessed X, Y, and Z. And I've had people sit in my face. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Niggas actually do that? Niggas act like that? I can't believe that. Like, you're such a beautiful woman. You're this, you're that. Just to turn around and do the same exact shit that I have told them and then gaslight me, making me think I'm crazy. And so it's like, I have to, a lot of times I sit back and question, like, dog, do I carry myself a certain way to think that it's okay for niggas to just talk to me or approach me any kind of way? Like in my DMs, let me do this, or oh, you should do this. Or, no, I should not. Hi, how are you? My name is, like, get to know me first. How about that? How about that? Get to know somebody first. Like, and especially since I've taken this dive into sex work, or I've been more open about my experiences in sex work, and just, I fucking love sex. Sex is great. Like, make sure you're having safe sex. And if you don't want to have sex with anybody, or even if you do want to have sex with somebody, go to Balesa and use code BB2S1P30 for 30% off your for those of you who are just listening, I just winked at the camera and I thought it was pretty hot. But yeah, ever since I've like got on this platform and I have more openly been talking about sex, it's just like y'all think that all I want is sex, and that y'all can just say like, oh yeah, your pussy's pretty. I know that. Thank you. Like, that's literally, I woke up this morning, the subject message, it said, hey, and then it just said, your pussy's pretty. Dude, don't even follow me. None of that. Like, I'm so confused, bro. I'm so confused. That's not it. That's not it. Or like, if respect people's no, if you approach me or somebody and you say, oh, I'm trying to do XYZ, and they say no, don't come back later or try to rephrase the question. No means no. Literally no. Like, just stop there. Stop in your tracks. Keep it moving. Yeah, I have the attention span of a squirrel, so I kind of low key lost where I was going with it. Oh, sex work. Yeah, so ever since I've been like open about this, it's just like I really see people coming at me left, and y'all gonna get blocked. I'm not afraid to block anybody. Y'all about to be blocked, and I will act like I don't know who you are if I see you in public. But on the sex work tip, because I've been getting a lot of people asking me questions. So I did start out as a stripper years ago. In the episode, I think as I'm doing this, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this as like a full episode in a couple of weeks because I record like 2 weeks in advance. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this as a full episode, but I was just so fucking pissed off yesterday that I think I just might make this a bonus episode. And so in the coming episode, you will see my friend Dixie. Shout out to you, aka Seven. That's my BFF for real. We started stripping together, and we talk about it in a coming episode. I haven't edited it yet. Edited it. That sounded wrong, but I know that was correct. I haven't edited it yet. So I really don't know what we was saying because we was maxing. The Taylor Port and the Four Loco, crazy mix. Mind your business. It was a long day. So I don't know. I don't remember exactly what we said, but that is how I got into stripping. And sex work is work. It doesn't matter what kind of work, sex work it is. And just because it's titled sex work, that does not mean you're having sex. Sex work is anything that has to do with the fantasy of sex, selling the fantasy of sex. So like stripping for me, I love talking. I can talk and talk and talk. As y'all can see right now, like I've been talking for 20 minutes. Is it coherent? Maybe, maybe not. But that's besides the point. I'm a talker, but I like to talk about things that have substance, or it's like it's some type of meaningful conversation or funny, entertaining conversation. I don't like small talk. Like if there's not chemistry there, if there's big gaps of silence and you're just saying stuff to say stuff, I'd rather just sit in your company and observe whatever activities are going on around us. Like I'm okay with silence, okay? Because especially as a person who talks a lot, like sometimes I do need to shut up. I just need to hear the birds chirping. I need to go outside and touch grass. I don't want to sit here and have conversations with people. And I really don't I hate obvious conversation. So for instance, it was like one time I was dating this person and he couldn't sit in silence. He could not. And he assumed that whenever I wasn't talking, I was mad. And so it'd be like, we're sitting there, you come in the house, or I'm sitting there, you come in the house, you see me watching TV. I do say, I greet you, hey, how are you? How was work? Da da da. You see me watching TV, you see what's on TV, you talking about what you doing? I'm watching TV. Oh, what was the point of that? You could have kept that. You could have asked me what I was watching, and then like I don't know, and maybe I'm just being picky, but it's dumb shit like that. So in regards to like the strip club, I was not a successful stripper. One, because I learned very quickly there is a difference between club shaking your ass and stripper shaking your ass. And baby, the first time I got on that stage, it was so embarrassing. Like imagine crickets in a strip club. It was crazy. I was so embarrassed. I was like, take me home. So it was one, the adjustment of like just being in a setting, and two, like the way movies and shows depict stripping, you think people just come in there and start throwing money at you. It's not any of that. Like you might, like literally the first day I had and I don't know if I told this story, so I'm not gonna give too much. Because I really don't remember if I told this story in the upcoming episode, and I don't want to be too repetitive. But I was on stage my first night in a strip club, and literally 3 niggas walked in and just made it rain. And I was like, oh my God, I'm built for this. False. Fake fucking news. Quickly realized that's not the case. Like you have to go up to people and talk to them. But for me, my thing is like, I want your money. You're here to spend money. Like if you just come over, I'll shake my ass a little bit, grind up on you. But that's not the case. Like it's so much more than that. And you could have the fattest ass. You could have the best body. You could do all types of crazy tricks on the pole, whatever. But if you don't have that piece to go talk to people and whatever. Like, you have to sell yourself. You literally have to sell yourself, market yourself. Why? It's tons of women around here with no clothes on or whatever, whatever rules are in the strip club. And what makes you different from that one? What makes you more appealing or more entertaining or more personable than the next one? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you really have to market yourself. And now, with sex work, I am going into financial domination. And so that has been a really big thing, especially Mistress Marley. That is who I'm learning from. I came across Mistress Marley and her work at a Lur and Lionel show when they went to New York. So shout out to them. They're a great podcast, great dudes. Like, those are examples of like how you should treat sex or treat women or just talk about women, because y'all niggas, anyway, go check them out. Great people, great podcast, great platform. But I was at their show and I came across her, and I kind of was just like, oh, this is interesting. Like, I can get niggas to pay me thousands of, well, not even niggas, some niggas, is mainly white people, lots of white cocks. I've seen so many white cocks in the past month. It's actually insane. But I came across that and I was just like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I could make money and not really have to do anything. False. Again, sex work is work. You're going to be doing something. And I came across an article yesterday, and I forget who wrote it, but it's a website called FedLife. So if you're interested in sex work, it's a very interesting website, and there's lots to find. There's lots to learn. In the past month since I've been taking this seriously, I've learned so much. But what was I saying? Oh, I came across an article yesterday that, like, so financial domination is a fetish, but it's becoming fairly new. And you're going to have to basically, you become a content creator. It's not just like, it goes back to, you have to market yourself. And so you have to have certain platforms where you're making clips or providing certain services. And that's not to say you're having sex, because I'm not having sex with anybody. That's another reason why, like, I was just so hot yesterday, because now people think, and people that I've already had sex with think, they're like, oh, now she's doing OnlyFans, she's doing this, she's a sex worker, I could spin a block. No, the fuck you can't. No, you can't. And maybe if you came to me with some respect, then maybe we could talk about it. But just like, oh yeah, let me make content with you. No. Hi, how are you? How's your day? How have you been? Like, can we just hang out? You want to go get some ice cream? Like, come on now. Like, anyway. Um, so it's like, you don't have to have sex to be a sex worker, but everybody thinks that you do, just because there's lots of people who are successful. I know several people who are successful making sexual content and have never showed their vagina, have never showed any type of, they don't do nudity. There's different ways, but you have to do your research, and you have to take the time, and you have to market yourself. You have to, regardless, there has to be something for somebody to be, again, why pick you over the next person? So for anybody who is interested in sex work, that's part of the reason why me and Tori started this podcast. Like, we are sex workers. She has stepped out of the realm, but we both have history in sex work, both in content creation and in being a stripper. And just like the shit that we have to deal with, and it's just like, people don't, it doesn't matter why a person's doing it. My shit's not your shit. Their shit's not your shit. Like, I don't like shit. Don't shit on me. That's hard limits. If you're talking about hard limits, I'm not shitting on nobody, and nobody's shitting on me. I'll be fucking damned. Anyway, but that's part of the reason that we did this, because like, people just think that, oh, because she's selling sex, like, she's just for the streets and I can talk to her, treat her however I want to. No, absolutely not. You're going to treat me with respect, because that's what I give to you people. Again, lost my train of thought. I'm telling y'all, it's amazing that, like, I've made it so far in life. I used to teach people's kids, y'all. Like, I was really in front of the classroom Monday through Friday teaching the youth of America. Can y'all believe it? That's crazy. I've had people ask me questions about teaching I loved teaching. I was very sad to go. I've said that before too. I love my babies. I love my babies. I miss them so much. And but it was time for me to go. I always said that I would only teach for 5 to 10 years anyway. And so when I started teaching, it was right when the pandemic hit. And so that 2.5 years that I was teaching did it felt like 5. So I feel fulfilled in that. Um yeah. Back to what else was there? Oh, I've had people ask me about pole dancing. So I actually, when I was stripping, I did not know how to pole dance at all. I was still living with my mom when I was stripping, so I didn't have my own pole. I had never taken a pole class. My first real interaction with a pole was in the strip club. But I didn't know how to use it. I look back, I think I might have like one video, but it was bad. Like I was so bad. I have really come a long fucking way. It's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, I had no interactions with the pole when I was stripping. I didn't start pole dancing till like a year after I stopped stripping. And I took my first pole class. I went by myself. I had like a Groupon, and I just never looked back. Like, I love pole dancing because one, like it's just fun. I used to be a cheerleader in middle school and high school, so I get that like fitness and routine part of it. But also the community is great. I think pole dancing is for everyone. Like you see all shapes and sizes, you see all genders. Like it's a beautiful place. I've never been in a pole class where somebody has shamed somebody else. Like and it's different levels, different people working on different things, but it's always just genuine like happiness to see the growth in people or to see how excited somebody gets if they've been working on something. In one of the upcoming episodes, I kind of answered this, but my cousin asked me like, what's the hardest move you learned? Or what was the move that what's the hardest move you learned? All of them are hard. All of them are hard. All of it's hard, but it's just like something. I am now. I've been pole dancing for 3 years on and off, and I am just now getting things like, for example, a chopper style invert. Which fuck it, I'll just sorry y'all. I'll show y'all. My house is a little bit of a mess. But like, y'all see my house. That's crazy. Ignore the styrofoam. But like this yam, shout out to Masego. This is something that seems so simple, but I'm telling you, it's taken me 3 years to get that. But that's because I having to realize, like, basically just getting in touch with my body, and seeing. Let me adjust this camera. Yeah. That's been the hardest part. So that specific sentence is going to be a bit redundant. What is this man saying? Y'all are funny. But pole dancing has been great, which reminds me. So I wouldn't say that I never ever necessarily saw myself becoming like a pole teacher. But I am a teacher by nature. I've always been a teacher. I was a weird kid that was in like second grade, like, I want to be a teacher. My granddad's like, you're not going to make any money as a teacher. And I'm like, I want to teach. I don't care about money. And now I'm like, damn, kind of wish I was a doctor. But no, like, I take happiness over wealth or whatever you want, whatever money, capital, whatever you want to call it. But my happiness and my peace is the most important thing. Because what's the point of doing anything if you're not happy, you know? And I'm the one doing it. Y'all aren't paying my bills. So it is what it is. Anywho, um, so I'm a teacher by nature. And so I say that to say that I have decided, and thank you to those of you who have reached out, I will be hosting my first flow workshop. So if you are interested, this will be a woman only workshop, but it will be held in July. Right now I'm looking at July 8th is the date. DM me your email address if you are interested. And eventually in the future, I will be considering, I had some dudes who expressed interest, but like, if we're being honest, and I don't care if this is a shot at your pride or whatever, it was just like, bro, come on now. You know damn well you ain't trying to fucking flip off a chair or do a split. You trying to see some ass, and no. So if you are serious about pole dancing or dancing as a person who identifies as a man, then yes, reach out to me. And as I begin hosting more workshops and stuff, then I will keep that in mind and keep that in consideration and do co-ed workshops. Because I do have male friends that pole dance. Like, pole dancing is for everybody. And if we're being honest, anytime a nigga come over here, I be seeing y'all. Y'all not slick. But it's like, y'all come on here and hop on this pole. Men have a fascination with the pole. It has not failed. There has not been a single man who has come over my house and not touched this pole. Come on now. Y'all love it over here. The pole dance is for everybody. But another reason why we started this podcast is because it's just like, everything is so sexualized, and then it's like y'all lose respect for us because we do it. But y'all the ones that, like, it just don't make it. I don't know. Men don't make sense, and y'all will never make sense to me. I like respectful men, and the unfortunate part of it is that, like, a lot of men are not respectful. And I really wish that was different, because y'all could get so much if y'all just had some fucking sense in how to talk to people. Shaking my head. I feel like it was something else I was going to say, but I guess I can't say it. And honestly, I got to wrap this up soon anyway, because I need to get ready to go to work. I am working all day today. I don't even know if this joint is picking up the audio. Sorry, y'all. I got to work today and I got to work tomorrow. I changed my work shirt because I was like, y'all can't know where I work. Y'all can't be in my business. Oh, I also have work up at the National Harbor right now. It's a series. It's actually the first series of work that I did with mosaic, like a mixed media mosaic, with tiles and resin, and mirror. I love mirror. I love mirrors. Oh my God. And so if you find yourself at Bowie City Hall, or if you find yourself at the National Harbor, there's a place called Arts the Nation. And I have work displayed in both places, so go check it out. Or I have work in one place and I will have work in the other place. So go check it out. So I'm gonna wrap it up soon, but let me tell y'all a story. Okay, so this one time, right? I'm going on a cruise in September. I'm so excited. We're going to where are we going? We going to the Bahamas, and we going to Grand Turk. Oh, y'all, I'm about to be on that fucking boat. The first and only time I went on a cruise, though, that was back in 2019. That was when my fucking students, bro. So I had told them I was going, we prepared the whole week, and I was like, y'all, Miss P is leaving. I'm like this. I typed up a cute little note. I was like, y'all better act like y'all got some sense. When I came back from that damn cruise, that fucking classroom was a mess. It was paper airplanes everywhere, the chairs, just everything. It just looked like a tornado hit. And then I came in on Monday because I got home. Oh, I had got home from the cruise. I had to go to jury duty. So after jury duty, I was like, let me go look at my classroom, see what it's hitting on. Y'all, I was so pissed off. I was so pissed. So I walked in there Tuesday morning like, what the fuck is this? Like, y'all really, y'all be sitting here. I don't know why teachers act and treat me like this, because y'all act like y'all ain't got no home training. Act like you got some fucking sense. I was so pissed off. I miss my sisters. I have so many crazy stories of my kids. I love them. They're hilarious. But anyway, so I was on a cruise, y'all. I had a fucking blast. Why? I saw Lupe Fiasco. But y'all, I wonder if he ever thinks about this. He probably doesn't. It's not that deep. But listen, so before we went on the cruise, Dixie went to go get her hair braided. And this is when Rhythm and Flow on Netflix first came out. So, it was Cardi B, it was Chance, and it was T.I. So the very first episode, when they were in Chicago, one of the guest judges was Lupe Fiasco, right? So I have to give that preface. I was watching him on TV before the fucking cruise, right? And you know, like Lupe, I'll give him his flowers or whatever, but when's the last time you dropped some music? And if you did, I ain't heard it. Cause like, come on now. Like Lupe's cool, but like, let's be realistic. Like, you know, anyway, it's no shade. If you're watching this, if you come across this, I fuck with you. But like, yeah, anyway, that's why I approached you the way I did. So let me just get to the story. So we're on a boat. It's after dinner, and me and my brother just ironically happened to be dressed in all white. We did not plan it. So we were like, oh, let's go on the deck and take pictures. And y'all, let me just tell y'all, I planned that outfit for caption purposes. My caption was all white, call me privileged. That's a fucking bar. You can't tell me I ain't fucking hit with that. I was pressed. I was real pressed to take that picture. Anyway. So we're like, okay, let's go to the deck and take pictures. As we're walking up the steps, I see Lupe. And I'm looking at him. And he's looking at me, look at him. And I'm like, I know you. I know you. And he's looking at me like, yeah, like waiting for me to tell him how I know him. Y'all, I looked this man dead in the face. I said, you're an actor. And I said, yeah, that's it. And then I walked away. His face fell. So we go when we're taking pictures and just going about our day. We're coming back down the stairs. We see him again. And I'm like, that's not right. Something's not right about what just happened. And I'm like, oh shit, that's Lupe Fiasco. And my brother and Dixie was like, yeah, bitch, like, and you really just called that man an actor. I was like, yo, I just saw him on TV. Like, my bad, I ain't know. And y'all know my processing skills aren't the best. Like, so I had went down and I went up to him, but obviously, like, I just disrespected this man's whole life. So I was like, I know who you are now. You're Lupe. And he was just like, yeah, and walked away. Like, that man, I know he probably went in his room and cried because, like, what are you even doing with your life? But nah, Lupe, that was no disrespect. I really just thought, like, in my head, I thought I just computed you were on my TV screen on a TV show. You're an actor, point blank period. Because I could not remember what show I was watching. I just know I saw him on my TV. And I don't be watching music videos, so that's why I didn't equate it to like a, an artist. Anyway, just a quick side story before I go, because like I said, I need to get up. Processing skills, like, as y'all will learn, if you haven't picked up by now, one, I be saying shit and like, I don't know, I have a lot of intrusive thoughts, and like the first thing that pops into my head is what I be trying to make sense out of, and I'll be like, yeah, that didn't make sense. So for instance, like back in 2012, I think it was 2012. Was it 2012? Because let me see, my freshman year was 2010, 2011. It was 2011, 2012. So it was 2011. When I was a sophomore at high school, we had that earthquake. Yo, that was crazy because I really, and I don't even know if I told this story. I know I told part of the story, but I thought, I'm sitting there. I was in chemistry class with Miss Carlos. Great time. And the room get to shaking. I'm like, what the fuck going on? So the first thought that came into my head was that somebody, and if you went to, like, if you're local, if you went to Rose is a fucking prison. It's no going to school in a fucking jail. So it's like you can't even see what's going on. You just hear shit, and it's just like whatever comes to my mind is what I think is happening first. So literally, the room get to shaking and shit. I'm like, and so I think I convinced myself what's going on is somebody is moving an industrial size refrigerator on the top floor. And I'm just like, damn, that's a heavy refrigerator. Like, why y'all doing it in the middle of school day? And the cafeteria downstairs, like, what is this upstairs for? Kid, what? So then I'm like, nah, kid, that don't make no sense. My next thought, which was a little bit more logical, but still just like, I thought that the track team was practicing indoors on the top floor and they was just causing a ruckus. But again, I was like, we have a whole ass track outside and it's the middle of the school day. Why y'all niggas running around the top floor? So I was like, nope, that's not it. And then finally, that's when somebody else was like, earthquake. And I said, oh, that makes sense. That makes the most sense. And I'm an idiot for that. So yeah, that's just kind of like how all of that. Oh, yo, okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I promise. So back to my car accidents, right? My bumper, if you have been driving down 495 and it's like the Baltimore College Park exit, but it's like the little loop where you can get on BW Parkway towards Laurel. So I was on BW Parkway merging onto Baltimore College Park, merging onto 495 towards Baltimore College Park. And that ramp is where my car accident was when I was in my own car and my bumper fell off. So since September, my bumper has been stuck in a guardrail. Rest in peace, Charlie. I miss you. You were a real one. I name my cars. I think it's important to name inanimate objects, specifically your car, because it's like I'm literally entrusting my life. Relationship building, important. So by naming my cars, we have this bond. I just be like, Forrest. That's my car now. Forrest, relax. You tripping. Mama loves you. I had Bella, Charlie, and Forrest. Anyway, so every time I would drive past, I'd be like, hey, Charlie. Um, and so I got it in my head that I was gonna go get my bumper. Cause why y'all leave Charlie like there? And I was gonna give him a proper burial. I wanted my license plate because I low-key wanted to use it for a piece of art. I was just gonna throw the bumper in the trash. But I had this whole plan. I was gonna pull up, I was gonna park, because like where it happened, there's no shoulder right there, right? So I was gonna pull ahead and park on the shoulder and walk down. But because it's a fucking major highway, I was like, I can't just do that in the middle of the day because then I'm gonna get hit for a fucking license plate. That's crazy. So I said, nah, it's gotta be like a stealth move. I gotta do it in the middle of the night, right? And I didn't want to do it by myself because again, I need somebody on lookout because the popo, what if they pull up? Like it could just be a whole ordeal that it doesn't need to be. So I was really trying to meticulously plan it. Basically, um, they finally got my bumper before I could get it, so I was very saddened by that. There was one time my car I was driving and my entire muffler fell off. I was able to retrieve that, but that's a different story for another day. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's all. I'm gonna wrap it up and get my life together so I can go to work and pay my bills. Um, so use code BB2S1P30 for 30% off your order. Be respectful, be kind, treat people how you would like to be treated. Stop wilding in the DMs because y'all really about to get fucking slapbox. Follow the Patreon. With Patreon, and I'll say this in Monday's episode because I will, when I get home tonight, I'll probably do a little bit of editing on this and just do like a bonus episode. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Patreon is 3 different tiers. Go check that out. How I just did that poll move things like, so you have the house fee, which is like a general $3.33 a month, and y'all get any full episodes that I record. You also get poll play when we do it. With main stage, you get those 2 things and then like a bonus video. And then with Champagne Room, you get all 3 of those things plus an additional video. When we're having events, which I am coming up with performance number 3 on June 3rd, y'all. And yeah, like when we have events, links will be dropped in there so that you can purchase tickets and come out and support your favorite scriptless. Video lessons, tutorials for those of you who are interested in dance or interested in pole dancing. Or I do yoga personally. I don't think I'll become a yoga teacher. And I'm not going to say that Tori's doing that, but that at one point that was something that we discussed. But there will be lessons and tutorials and stuff in Champagne Room. Champagne Room is $11.11 a month, and you get obviously a lot more. And so with that being said too, there's stuff in there now, but as paying customers, we would like your input. So if there's something you would like to see, events that y'all would like to see, like come over to Patreon, let us know. And we can make it a literal party. So that is patreon.com/two scripters one pole. Follow the backup page, two scripters one pole, the pod. What else? Send questions, stories, topics either to two scripters one pole or to the Gmail, two scripters one pole.com. Two scripters one pole at gmail.com. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. but I don't think I am. Oh, y'all, also another thing, for somebody who has 7 Instagrams, that's like a little just like, all right, you're kind of doing it to yourself. But this is where I need crowd participation, right? Too many messages give me anxiety. And as of lately, I have been getting a lot of messages, just like text messages, phone calls, emails. Like right now, if I went on my phone and told y'all, all in total, I probably have like 14 notifications, but I am stressed the fuck out because of it. Like that really stresses me out. So just be mindful of like how often and what terms you DM me. Like if you think something funny, we all know I'm funny. I'm fucking hilarious, right? Just like it. Just like it. If you're gonna laugh, then laugh with like a comment with substance, you know? Because it's just like what happens, right? This is kind of, let me walk y'all through my notification anxiety. I get so many notifications that I start to ignore them because it's just like maybe it's the people pleaser aspect of me that I'm slowly getting rid of, but it's like I feel like I can't open this right now because you might be expecting some kind of response, so it stresses me out, and so then I miss the notification till it kind of just disappears. This is particularly to Instagram, and so then I don't open your message for another 2 weeks because by that time you forgot what you said, I forgot what you said, and I don't feel obligated to respond to you. And that's something that I need to work on as well, because not everything deserves a response, but like I said, I'm a work in progress. So I say all that to say is like, if you're not talking about nothing, just like it and keep it moving, please. I don't say that disrespectfully. It's just like being a person who's very outgoing and happy, and like not to toot my own horn, but like people are drawn to me. Is it goes back to that piece of like people get to a certain point where they think because you're in a certain like within a certain space, or you're presenting yourself, or you're doing certain things, that people have access to you whenever however they want, and they can kind of just demand. No, we're people, we all go through shit. Like I need a break too. I'm not here for you. Like, and I can't be here for you if I don't have the emotional capacity to take care of myself. So always take care of yourself, set up boundaries, tell people like, don't feel bad telling people like I need to take my time, or not even saying anything to people, because you really don't. Like just let it be. If somebody doesn't give you the attention you want, find somebody who will. Like y'all really be dragging it. I hate that for y'all. Anyway, y'all, I'm literally rapping. I really talked to y'all for an hour. Be safe, make good choices, have a great day. Go buy a toy, bust a nut. It's Saturday. Y'all not doing anything anyway. Peace.